Hello. How are you? I can't hear you. You maybe you're also the settings on your device.
All right. Can you hear me now?
I can.
All right. Cool. I had my Bluetooth speaker, so
Okay.
now it's better. So how are you, Gavin?
Doing well. My children and my wife went with the in-laws to go to a kind of this light show. So I'm by myself right now. So that doesn't happen very often.
Is it one of those you drive around the trees and
Yeah, that's my understanding. So yeah, like a some kind of a botanical gardens type deal where people volunteers go out and set up lights and allow you to drive through for
yeah,
Christmas. How's
yeah?
life?
Good. I used to do that as a kid a bunch. We would come back down. I left New Orleans when I was 5, and every Christmas we used to come back. So the city park in New Orleans is the second biggest city park next to New York. Um, and so they, in the deep South, they love Christmas and they love a reason for a party. So
Yeah,
it just basically turns into everybody gets in their car and drives through slowly, and so you don't have to worry about being drunk. It's probably a dangerous thing, uh, really badly, but New Orleans is just kind of like that. Like,
yeah. Well, it's
I'm not encouraging it, but yeah, it's
New Orleans. My understanding is they like to party, and so it's not like maybe it's not every city in the South like that, but New Orleans kind of stands out.
true story. Yes.
The home of Mardi Gras, right?
It's not the birthplace of Mardi Gras. Mobile is the birthplace.
Okay,
Um, yeah, so Mobile, Alabama is the birthplace, but New Orleans perfected it.
okay. So
Yeah.
that's why they got credit in my mind.
Yes.
I was aware they did one in Mobile, but I recall that the one in New Orleans is on a larger scale.
Yes. Um, I mean, they have parades for anything. There's St. Patrick's Day parades. There's Valentine's Day parades. Um, even and this is one of the reasons why I really want to be buried in New Orleans or space, because that's also awesome. But look up to the heavens to see your forefathers, right? Like
Yeah,
the
that's
whole
interesting.
yeah. But in New Orleans, the idea is that the funerals, every excuse for a party, but also um, what you're doing is you're celebrating their life as you should be. Um, and so, who the heck wants their life to be like, oh, well, it should be like, they're beating me to the pearly gates, right? So they're dancing up in heaven, and so they're doing that first line, the Congo line or whatever. It's this first line, and down on earth is the second line. And so that's what the second line dance is like everybody's partying up in heaven, the second line's down here. And so there's the dance called the second line, and it's at weddings and funerals that the second line happens. So um,
Okay.
it's a really cool way to have the beginning and ending of monumental pieces of life. They don't do it for like birth, infants can't second line.
Yeah, they'd have to be carried.
Yeah. So, well, that's fun. What are they going to do? Your kiddos, are they helping decorate in this instance, or are they just going to go do the?
They're just gonna go enjoy the drive through, hang out with family. My
Yeah.
Yeah, my sister in law and my niece will be there. I got to go see them last night. Um, had a fish fry but then today they had planned going to this. I think it's Callaway Gardens in Georgia. So
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, there's something just in general about the Christmas time season that is magical. But when you're a kid and you have the experience of having, it's the celebration, right? And everything involved around it. And for me, I think that's a big part of my existential Christmasness is what you're talking about with what your kids are doing right now, which is doing the light show and oohing and eyeing in wonder at the magic of, like, there's a tree, but somehow that tree has an elf in it, and it's putting you know what I mean? Like, there's some really elaborate lighting decorations that can go on, and
Yeah.
that's fun.
Yeah. I remember going and looking at the light shows whenever I was little, and then perhaps there's something about being a kid seeing a light show that it's different when you're a kid versus when you're older. So
yeah,
it's nice if you can kind of see through the eyes of a child, again, but that's not it's hard, or it can be.
this is one of the things that I know Peterson encourages about having kids is, like, they have you relive childhood again, and they bring back that awe and wonder in life, and you get to vicariously experience that newness again because they're doing it for the first time, and having that connection with them is a whole new set of wonderment for yourself, but then, like, embedded in it, that shared wonderment. So
Yeah.
Kids are great. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, my having kids has helped me kind of appreciate play. I was not playing as much before I had kids, so they like to play. Yeah, I was probably too serious there for a while, and I can still do it, but yeah, I play more often now.
It's I believe it's one of the most worthwhile pastimes to cultivate, no matter how it is that you express that form of play. I believe it's probably the most psychologically stabilizing thing that you can do for yourself as well as society. Because when you lose the ability to have a pretend aspect to your mind, you're limiting the prefrontal cortex. Like, what children do when they're doing that play thing is they're trying on different roles, trying out and figuring out the world, and they're inhabiting what they interpret the meanings are. And I think that's part of what Jesus says about, come unto me, all you little children. Like, let's play, guys. Like, come on. Like, yes, please, more play. Not the rough and, like, mean spirited, like, oh, play, like.
Yeah, that's the thing that I did.
Playing with you.
Well, I did. Yeah, I did a mean spirited play whenever I was young. So I bullied a little bit, but yeah, I mentioned that in Jacob's Ladder Discord, and he did bring up the point that your brain is still developing for a while. So if you're doing mean spirited play when you're 30, it's a little different than if you're doing it when you're 7 years old or something.
True. Yeah.
I think there's neuroplasticity in the brain, and so you can perhaps change your mind more easily. But eventually, when you're young, your mind is changing more easily than once you get older. That's the kind of argument I got out of his response on that. But yeah, I did plenty of things when I was young that I'm not proud of. Had to go and apologize to my brother a few times years later. Not being a very good big brother.
A lot of that play, though, that's maybe not quite acceptable, can be unleashed in the certain rule sets for games. Like Peterson talks about, like, there's an infinite amount of things that you can do in chess, but there's rules, and the rules confine that play, and it makes it so that you can still have the mean-spirited setting somebody up for just like for example, like why would you march down 5 pawns all the way and have 6 queens, right? Like, and not just checkmate them, like that sort of like, that's still play, right?
Okay. Well, there's the one where he says you want to play by the rules which allow you to get invited back to play again. So you have to watch out for it. The sportsmanship is kind of like a meta rule.
Right.
So yeah, if you just dominate the other person all the time, and you can get this when you play with kids. It's like, there's plenty of games where I could probably win every time if it's just like a skill-based game, but that then becomes no fun. So it's no fun if you lose every time, and then it's also no fun if you're winning every time.
I think that's one of the reasons why one of the simplest games is so fun across the board for all ages. Cornhole. Do you like cornhole?
Yeah, I know that game.
Yeah, so you can make it harder for yourself, right? Like,
right.
Or you can make it harder for yourself, and you gotta get closer. But there's ways to even the playing field, and I think that's one of the most enjoyable things, easy button for any listeners that you could do to, like, regardless of age or gap in expertise. Like, as the adult, you can still just make it hard for yourself, right?
Yeah,
and that's going to encourage the kid to see, like, hey, it's okay to fail. It's okay to, like, self-deprecate. Like, oh man, I'm such a
Yeah, so you can give an advantage to your opponent or something like that, or take a disadvantage.
Right. And it's easy to fake the not trying as hard sort of thing.
Yeah.
Cool. What do you have for your kids that you like playing with now?
We've been playing a Pokemon trading card game. So
it's fun.
It's cool.
Hold on, just one moment. Sorry again. Hey, so I unfortunately have to cut it short.
That's cool. Well, I'm glad we just got to meet up for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but yeah, thanks for hopping on, and we can do this again sometime.
Hopefully we can play some more.
Yeah, this day just happened to be a good day, and sometimes I'm really busy. So
every day that you can say the word good is a good day.
Yeah, I try to do that.
Our brother.
All right,
Love you.
Greg.
Catch you on the flip side. Aloha.
Aloha.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, people. I tried out the StreamYard with the Powered by StreamYard. And I think I'll just I'll end it there. I was intending to just, have a chat with Greg. And last time we did it, it was a private chat, and I wanted to do a public one. So that was good. Check out the meaning of the word aloha. Aloha is cool. All right. With love, love God, love people.